If everyone around you looks rich, here is the uncomfortable truth. Most of them aren't. They're just really good at hiding the debt. And once you see the numbers, you will stop wondering what you are doing wrong.
Honestly, this messed with my head for a long time. I kept thinking I was behind or missing something obvious. Turns out I was comparing myself to a highlight reel.
So how is everyone affording this? But here is the thing. What if that whole question is based on an illusion? You see it right there. Your old roommate from college, and they're clinking glasses on some super fancy rooftop bar in Miami.
The sunset's perfect, the drink looks like it cost 30 bucks. Okay, so there's Exhibit A. Then you're in the work parking lot, and there's your coworker showing off their brand new Tesla. You know, it's so quiet, it's so sleek, it just screams, I've made it. So that's Exhibit B. And just to cap it all off, your neighbor is redoing their kitchen. Again, for the third time. It feels like every single person is leveling up, and you're just treading water.
And that feeling, it's exhausting. Because it makes you question yourself, even when you're actually doing okay.
These posts, these sightings, they're all pieces of a puzzle that are designed to make you feel like you're falling behind. But the real question is, are you actually seeing the whole picture? So, let's play detective. We're going to decode the two biggest status symbols of our time, the giant house and the luxury car. We're going to look at the cold, hard numbers, and I promise you, they tell a very different story than the one you see on the surface. First up, the big house in the suburbs. It's the classic American dream, right? That huge home, the perfect lawn, it all just looks so successful. But for so many people, that house is actually financial quicksand. Okay, let's do the math on this. For a median-priced home, which is about 400 grand these days, once you factor in the mortgage with current interest rates, plus property taxes, plus insurance, you are easily looking at a monthly bill of $3,000 or more. So how does that actually stack up? Well, for someone earning the median U.S. income, that's around $60,000 a year, that $3,000 house payment is a whopping 60% of their gross monthly pay. Now, the old rule of thumb, the one all the experts tell you, is that your housing should never be more than 30%. So they're not just bending the rule here, they're completely shattering it.
And here's what that really means. They aren't wealthy. They're what we call house poor. It means that every single penny is already spent before it even lands in their bank account, all just to keep up the appearance of living in that big, successful home. Now let's just wander out to the driveway, because this is where the story gets even crazier. You know, cars might just be the single biggest lie detector in all of personal finance. And that brand new luxury SUV, that is the ultimate statement piece that says, I have arrived.
But again, let's look at the numbers. The payment on a new $50,000 SUV, that can be over $900 a month. Then you got to add another $200 for insurance and at least $200 for gas. You're now at a minimum of $1,300 every single month for something that's losing value every single day. So here it is. This is the crucial point. You take that $3,000 mortgage, you add this $1,300 car payment, and you're at $4,300 a month. Now, for that person earning $60,000 a year, that's almost their entire income before taxes. They are not affording this. They're financing an illusion, and they're living one surprise bill away from total disaster.
But you know what? Crushing debt isn't even the whole story. There's another side to this, a whole world of hidden advantages and secret safety nets that never ever make it into a shiny Instagram post. So let's pull back that curtain.
So here's a piece of the puzzle nobody wants to talk about. A full 1/3, 1 out of every 3 adults between 18 and 34 is living at home with their parents. Now, this isn't some small fringe group. This is a massive economic shift that completely changes the entire game.
And just look at how this plays out in the real world. Someone earning, say, $45,000 a year but living at home with no rent, they might have $2,500 in actual spending money every month. Meanwhile, someone else who's earning 70 grand but has to pay their own rent, their own utilities, they actually have less cash left over. So the person who looks richer could actually be earning less money. This all leads to something we can call the invisible income effect. And it's not just about living at home. A recent survey found that 50% of parents are giving their adult kids regular financial help to the tune of almost $1,500 a month on average. So the Instagram feed shows the brand new car,
but it doesn't show the Venmo transfer from mom and dad that helped make the payment. So we've seen the debt, we've seen the hidden help, but why does this mess with our heads so much? Why does it have such a powerful negative effect on us? Let's dig into the science of why we constantly feel like we're losing a race we never even signed up for.
Well, it all comes down to this thing called social comparison theory. Basically, we are biologically hardwired as human beings to figure out our own success by looking at what other people are doing. The problem is, it used to just be your neighbors. Now, because of the internet, your comparison group is literally everyone online, and you are only ever seeing their perfectly curated highlight reel with zero context.
And if you want a serious reality check, here it is, straight from the Federal Reserve. The median net worth for an American under 35 is just $39,000. For ages 35 to 44, it's about $135,000. And guess what? Most of that is just the equity in their house. The influencer lifestyle you're comparing yourself to, it's a total fantasy for almost everyone. The reality is, most people are just trying to keep their heads above water.
Okay, so we have officially deconstructed the illusion. Now what? How do you even operate in a world where everyone's financial reality is completely hidden? Let's pivot and talk about the solution. How to stop playing their game and start building your own real wealth.
You know, the very first step is to completely redefine what success even looks like. It is not about the flashy stuff you can post online. It's about the invisible wins. Paying off a credit card, hitting a savings goal, deciding not to make that impulse purchase. These moments don't get you any likes, but these are the things that actually build real financial security over time.
This is the new definition we should all be aiming for. Real wealth is not the car, it's not the house. It's waking up in the morning and not feeling that knot of financial anxiety in your stomach. It is having options. It's being able to walk away from a job you hate without panicking because you built a real foundation of security, not a fake facade of success.
And you know what? The math to get there is actually beautiful in its simplicity. It's not sexy, it won't get you any followers, but it absolutely works. Spend less than you make, invest the difference, stay away from high-interest debt, and then just do it again and again. 20 years from now, while everyone else is still trying to look rich, you'll actually be building something real.
So, let's end on this thought. Just stop measuring your own progress against somebody else's curated highlight reel. The only comparison that actually matters is you today versus you last year. The financial lives you see online are mostly an illusion. They're built on debt, they're built on hidden help, and they're built on trade-offs that you can't see. The real question isn't how do they afford it. The real question is what does real wealth, real freedom and security look like to you?
Honestly, realizing all of this was such a relief for me. It doesn't make me feel behind anymore. It just makes me focus on what actually matters in my own life.